back at you with another DJs BrewTube beer review. Well, you see, all the holiday decorations are out. Again, another year has elapsed. So what time is it? It's time to drink some Christmas beer, some holiday beer, some winter warmer, whatever the hell you want to call it. It's big, it's malty, it's got spices, it's got crazy ass hops. We love it all because we have drinking problems. I mean, we love to critically review the lovely taste in beer and talk about our alcohol problems. I mean, and talk about all the lovely nuances of said beer. That's right. And what beer do we have today? We have a classic that I reviewed before. We've got a beer from Anchor Brewing Company out of San Francisco, California, US of A. Yay, yay. We've got their Christmas Ale, or our special ale. Now, this is the 40th anniversary of said beer. That's right. There's been 39 other renditions of this beer, and each year the recipe changes, which can't be easy when you've got like a 5.5% ABV and 28 IBU winter warmer, and when you're kind of like pegged into that category. Bravo to Anchor, the classic, the granddaddy of all craft beer world, for taking on said task. Now, like I said, the ingredients change every year. Also, what changes is the tree on the front of the label. This year it's a Grand Sequoia, I guess because that's a really long-lived and long-lasting tree, such as 40 years of the same sort of beer, kind of the changes, and it's different every year. Now, I do say, yes, it is different every year, because the first year I reviewed this with Johnny the Stunt Drinker, we didn't like it that much. I think I gave it like a B- or a B, something like that. Now, last year when I reviewed it, I did like it. I gave it like what was it? I think I gave it like a B+ or A-, somewhere in that range. I think an A- if memory serves. I was digging that beer. So, you know what? Enough flapping my gums. Time to pop the top on this bad boy, get in the glass, and tell you what's up with this year's Christmas Ale. Oh, nice hiss off the top. Lovely, obsessively collectible crown. You know how I roll around here. Let's get in the snifter. Yeah, I use a snifter from this every year because the snifter's kind of a posh glass, and a brewery like Anchor, who's the granddaddy of them all, you know, cheers to you, Fritz Maytag, you know, who started this shit. They deserve a posh glass for a beer, don't they? I think they do. Well, it looks pretty much like I remember the past 2 years. It's got that really dark brown color with this dark khaki head. I love these little stubby bottles. I might actually save this one. Usually I strip the labels off of Anchor bottles, so I like to use them for my home brew. But maybe this is the 40th anniversary. Maybe we'll save it. Anyways, it's I'd say it's a ruby brown color. There's a lot of ruby hints coming through it. It looked super clear pouring. Most Anchor beers that I've had have been pretty clear. It's got a tight khaki head, about one finger when I swirl it. Not getting any alcohol legs. Maybe a little tiny bit, but the glass lacing is always forming. That's a great characteristic of Anchor. They always have great glass lacing, at least the beers that I've had from them. And maybe a tiny bit soap sudsy at the top, but take a look at that. Really nice, really classic looking winter warmer. Many, many beers have styled their appearance after this winter warmer, because it was in the U.S. craft beer scene. It was probably one of the first ones out there. So let's dive in, get a nose, and see what's up in the aroma department. Say caramel, toffee, a little bit of chocolate, some roasted notes, coffee-esque roasted notes, but more like dark roasted grain notes than coffee. Some floral hop, maybe a very, very faint bit of citrus, but I'm getting a lot of sweet bready malt, toffee, caramel, roasted malts, and that's about it. Well, you know what? They change it every year. It does smell different than last year. I'm ready to dive in, guys. Cheers. Okay. Nice, fruity. Up front, the first thing I get is sort of those like spent coffee grains or really roasted dark malts. After that, I get some dark fruits. And in the center, there's a bitterness, but it's malt roasted bitterness, like right in the center of my tongue. And in the back, I got like that caramel sweetness. I was mentioning in the nose. In the nose, there's no alcohol aroma. In the taste, there's no alcohol aroma. I don't really expect that from a 5.5% beer, especially not from a brewery of the caliber of Anchor Brewing. But it's a quite tasty brew this year. I don't know if I'm impressed as I was last year, but it is better. I think I had this maybe at a tasting, but my palate was pretty wrecked and I didn't dig it because I think I had some bigger beers before this. And this is kind of a beer you want to take on, I think, by itself, because it's not huge in flavor. It's not huge in alcohol, and it's one you can have like a one-on-one session with. And if you have other beers besides it, it's probably going to get lost. But let me dive in for a little more of this. And this beer to me reminds me of sort of with this roasted bitterness, a robust porter sort of crossed with a Scotch ale. Not like a wee heavy, but maybe a Scotch ale where you got some of those dark fruity tones from the from the dark fruity tones from the yeast, and then you're mixed with some like robust porter kind of notes. It's kind of like a very English tasting beer almost to me in some ways. Like I say, like a cross between a porter, like a robust porter because of those bitter notes and that are roasty bitter notes. The hop's not super present. You get a little bit of it, but not really, because this is a fresh beer. It has its silly Anchor cryptic date code on the back, but, we'll give them that dispensation. But there's enough sweetness, and the sweetness that's in the beer is complemented by the fruity notes that I think are coming from the yeast. But it's a highly enjoyable beer. So, what do we grade a beer like this? The cumulative grade, which I think is a skewed grade from Rate Beer, they're giving it a 98. So, and they tell you it's a cumulative for all the years. This year, 2014, specifically focused upon by Beer Advocate at time of review, they're giving it a 79. Now, I've got this pretty fresh. It's just come out. But I think it's a lot better than a 79. It's a tasty beer. It's not a mind blower. It's not a, blowing the doors off the hinges here or anything. But it is a good beer. I think I'm going to give this like a B+. It's not awesome. I don't know if I'd seek out another bottle of this. Though I wouldn't be like offended if I had bought a Magnum, because they sell these in the big bottles, to share with some folks. Because it is a tasty beer. I don't know if this has cellaring potential. A lot of folks like the cellar verticals of this. At this low of alcohol, I don't really see any point in that, because I don't see it getting a whole lot better in the cellar from the taste. But as it is now, fresh, it is an enjoyable beer of B+ caliber. So if you've had this beer, let me know what you think of it. I love the Quid Pro Quo. I don't know everything, and I really like to know your opinion. And I really, really like it when you think locally, drink locally, and support the craft beer movement, because that's what makes a beer like this last for 40 years. When you support that craft brewer, you support the local guy, like the folks in San Francisco have done for years, and I'm doing now in my little dungeon down here in little old Maryland, US of A, all the way on the right coast and not the left coast. So, till then, thanks a million to each and every one of you for watching. Please remember to rate, comment, and subscribe, and hit that like button, because that and drinking beer puts my happy face on, and it's always good to have a good beer reviewer that's happy and smiley, isn't it? Well, if I drink enough beer, I'll be like that anyway. But that's another story for another time now, isn't it? So, till then, like I said, thanks a million. And I got nothing but a bunch of classic holiday Christmas beer drinking love for you. And you know what's coming. That's right. A big ass. A pizza!